Hi, I'm DJ Rad Key. Welcome to what is now my 48th vlog in the series. Happy to be here today. It is the weekend. It's Saturday, August 11th, 2018. There is no school for me today at the Scratch Academy, but I am going to be there all day because I missed class yesterday. I hate to miss class, but enough about Academy talk for today. It is the weekend. We're talking about the Overseas Basketball Combine. It was an event I worked looking for jobs on Craigslist, trying to think outside the box, but stay kind of musically focused or stuff I like. And I love basketball, my second favorite sport behind football. I do want to have a vlog about fantasy football. I'm going to try to tie it in DJ-wise somehow, but I'm tying in my second favorite sport, basketball, in today's vlog. I did drop a mix for the event. I did tell them, hey, you want me to DJ the event? And they're like, no, we need you to help register people and possibly work as a clock operator. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'm down for whatever. It was a paid job, modestly paid, but it was super easy. Honestly, one of the easiest jobs I've ever had in my life, other than a few minutes, which I'd like to tell you about, which were extremely, I wouldn't say stressful, but like I was in a different universe, actually a couple times. So let me tell you about the event first, tell you kind of how it ties in musically, DJ-wise, and career-wise. So just to give you a brief synopsis of how these operations work, it is the Overseas Basketball Combine. And this particular privately owned company, this operation, runs four combines throughout the year. Okay, so the first combine is a Myrtle Beach International Women's Combine, and that's held July 4th, 5th, and 6th. The second combine was in Las Vegas. This is the big one. This is the NBA Summer League. So this was July 11th through 13th, hosted in Vegas, and it was for players that are rookies and players going into their second year in the NBA. So they make the roster, and again, an NBA roster, and this kind of gives you perspective on how hard it would be to make the NBA. So currently there's 30 teams in the NBA, and through the collective bargaining agreement, each team is required to carry a minimum of 13 players on a roster. 12 are active, one is inactive, either by injury or just a non-dress or personal issues or whatever. So a team, though, has to have 14 players, can carry 15 players. And that's based on jobs. So if you do the math on 14 players for each team, that's 420 players. So that's 420 people have jobs. And this is internationally, and this is the NBA, of course. Now there's going to be players that just don't make it, can't hack it or whatever, but there's always going to be a 12th, 13th, and 14th man on every team. So I feel like the combines which I worked, the Fort Lauderdale combines, the third of the four, were players that could possibly make a G League team. One guy I know did sign for a fact, signed coming in, but was still at the combine. Want to make the G League, that would be the goal. I think of these, and there was 120 players. Of these 120 players, maybe one will make the NBA as like the 13th man, 14th man, maybe make a roster. So I'll have to pay $350, which is a nice take, dude, $42,000. But again, the overhead would be renting the place. They didn't have to supply them food. They had to bring their own food, but referees. I mean, each game you had 4 games. I was a clock operator, 2 referees. You had to pay coaches, scouts, trainers. There's a lot of administrative levels, people watching the front desk. So even though I feel like this organization is definitely for profit, made money, that's a lot of money to bring in. There's definitely a lot of overhead involved. And pat on the back to both Julianne and Joe for hiring me. First of all, thank you for dropping my mixtape, which is I'm about to tell you about, and running a great overall operation over the 2 days. It was a pleasure to work for them. Of course, I wish I would be DJing live, but they did drop my mix. The wife, Julianne, did mention to that, the head honcho, Joe, hey, here is DJ Rad Key's mix. And he's like, cool. You got a USB? And I had it in my hand. I'm like, cool. He plugged it in. His speaker had the USB. I plugged it in, and he rolled with it, which was awesome. But at that time, I was like, man, I'm late. I'm like, kind of confused about what my actual job title is, what I'm supposed to do, like, what's the chain of command here, like, where do I need to be? This is a job that I'm working at, and I want to still, represent myself as a great employee. So, basically, I ended up working the clock. No one trained me, no one showed me. I thought it would be super easy, right? It's a basketball event. I know what a free throw is, I know 2 points, I know a three-pointer. This is a super simple thing. So I sit down, and there's a videographer next to me, and he's kind of like right next to me, filming the game behind me. And I'm like, hey man, I'm not gonna lie, I've never operated the score. He's like, it's super easy. We taught a 12-year-old girl to do it last time around. You can do it. Don't worry about it, bro. Okay, cool. At least get me set up. I have zero training. He's like, all right, here's how it goes. This, and this. Guest was the black team. They had red, and then you had white was the home team, and they had green. So that was like, I'm like, who's home, who's away. So that took like a minute to click in. And now the game's just about to start. Literally about to start. Like, it's gonna start. They're just about to give tip off, and I'm learning how to use this thing, figuring out who's home and away, how to manipulate. Again, easy for a 12-year-old, but I literally have not even 30 seconds to figure out how to keep score. If someone scores a basket right off the get, I don't know what to do. So, of course, someone scores like they score like 3 baskets or free throws, all happening right within the first minute, and I am like a million years behind on keeping score. Like, I am the worst scorekeeper in the history of the world right now, because I'm not even close to having the right score. I have what I believe is like 2 free throws, so I'm thinking like, okay, 2 points, and then I have like what might have been a 2-pointer or might have been a 3-pointer, and then I'm still trying to figure out who's guest and who's home and away, because it was red and green, white and black, and then there was another score. So like the head coach looks over at me of one team, and he's like, man, that score is wrong. And I look at him, and I'm like, I know it's not even close. I don't know what's going on right now. Like, just too much happened way off the get. So the guy's like, it's 8-5. And I had it like it was like 5-3, but the other way around. Like, it was not even close. So, like, there was a little break. Like, I didn't know anything. I was just like, whoa, this is way, way, way trickier than I thought when I sat down to do this. I wish I had like 5 minutes to learn how to do this and not like be learning it at tip-off. So I asked the guy behind me, I'm like, man, what's going on? The original guy. He's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, bro. The rules are different. The scoring is different. And I'm thinking, like, that is an enormous detail to tell me that the scoring is non-traditional. So a referee has to stand by, and he looks at me, and he knows that, like, I don't know what I'm doing. And he's like, all right, here's the deal. Here's the rules. And there was a sheet. So the deal was, and not to be too detailed in the basketball scoring, but it obviously comes into play in this story, and see why I was the worst scorekeeper ever, was if a player scores a basket and is fouled, instead of shooting the free throw, they give him a point. Again, they want to speed up the game, okay? So they're like, why waste the time on a free throw? We'll give them the point, and then that reduces the risk of guys just hacking players they come to get. So I get it. It makes sense, but you think that's something you tell a scorekeeper, because that's not something I would get or understand, right? So then, again, the referee goes like this, 2 hands, that's a 3-pointer. I knew that, but a basket was like called off because of a foul. And then if a player is fouled, he gets 1 free throw, and that 1 free throw counts as 2 points. So instead of shooting 2 free throws, he shoots 1, it counts as 2. Again, all this to speed up the game. All good rules. I was stopping the clock. I was just like, I was stopping the time. And the referee was like, dude, you don't need to stop the clock. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that the time I know was way off. Then one of the coaches came over. He's like, why'd you stop the clock? And I'm like, it's the last minute in the first half. He's like, we only do that last minute in the second half. So this was all just thrown at me within the first 2 minutes. So, whew, take a breath on that. After that, it was fine. The rest of the day was fine. I figured out the scoring real quick, real easy. There might have been a point or 2 off that game, but the game didn't come within a point or 2, so it really didn't matter. But after that, everything was cool. So it was fun. It was a fun event. Glad that I got paid. It was fun to make money again. I did forget there's a final combine, a 4th combine. Like I said, the Lauderdale's a 3rd. The 4th combine is a Myrtle Beach combine, and that's December 1st through the 3rd. And that's scouting for the second half of the European League. And that's scouting for the Latin League, and that's scouting for the G League, Canada, and the ABA. So this was kind of a cool combine. It was a combine to work. It was an opportunity for probably a lot of these guys to maybe get a job. And like I said, there was one standout guy. A couple guys probably will make the G League. Some of those guys I think just went for fun. I think one of the guys I made a small talk with a couple of guys, players, just in between time. And I was like, yeah, well, what brings you here, whatever. Because you knew they were definitely not NBA ready. And some of them are maybe just super overconfident. And I guess this is why this parallels them a DJ. Because some of these guys probably could make the pros. These guys aren't really guys that are going to college at this point. They're probably a little too old for the college game. Maybe not in an educational realm. Maybe just not wanting to go to college overall. So most of these players were guys that didn't want to go to college or are not going to college and or have played college or very small college ball, Division III, Division II, like community college, like some college ball, but want to become paid. And I felt like this is such a great parallel for me as a DJ because, like, I've quote unquote played college ball. I've DJ'd before. I've had multiple residencies. One residency was unpaid for. Actually, sorry, 2 residencies were unpaid and 2 were paid residencies. So I've held that down. So I guess I have this college, we'll say, as some of these players who have college experience. I guess I have high school experience, would be like practicing and playing little people's house parties and stuff. That would be my high school. And then bars would be my college. And I guess I've done pro events. Maybe some of these guys have like played against guys that have become pros, played at a college level against pros. Some of these guys probably could be pro caliber, but maybe they need to improve their shooting, their game, size up. And that's like me. Maybe I'm a pro caliber DJ. I just need to improve my skills. That's kind of what I took out of this G League experience for some of these guys. It's like they're close, but they're lacking in something. Maybe it's like they're a little undersized. Maybe they're a little bit out of shape. Maybe they got to work on their shot, and that's where I'm at. Like, I need to work on my skills. So that parallels my day with the day. And my mix did go over well. They played it a lot. It was an hour-long mix. They played it, I heard it once in full on the first day, and then they played it as a warm-up and again throughout the course of the day. The second day, it got a lot of head bobs. Some of my old school tracks went over big. The new school ones I knew would go very good. I was super happy with the mix. I probably could have made a couple hours for the guys. Went really well. So thumbs up on the mix. Again, shout out to Julianne and shout out to Joe. Awesome job organizing the event. I was happy to work it. Good luck to all those players out there in the Overseas Basketball Combine. Good luck in your careers. Again, see all that is DJ Rad Key on djradkey.com. It was a long vlog. Hope you stuck with it. I appreciate it. Thank you. My name again, DJ Rad Key. Be good to strangers. Be nice to people overall, and have a great day. Peace.